Good evening, folks. I am smiling today, which is good. I've been in a pretty good mood today. I've been tired, but happy because I got a text last night from Woody to tell me that Worth Valley Young Farmers have chosen Beat as their charity of the year, and I just wanted to say the biggest thank you to everybody because I know that it was up against a couple of other charities. I'm not sure what they were, but the fact that obviously everyone is now aware of my situation and, are hopefully becoming more aware of the illness and how it affects people. And, it really is it's a very serious illness. And to think that, they want to help is just brilliant. And I'm really touched and moved by it. So, and it was really quite funny because I got the text during my rest period. I was having my snack and I shouldn't have had my phone with me, but I saw the text and had a cheeky look and was like, oh my God. And everyone was like, Harriet, are you okay? Should we get the nurse? And I was like, no, it's okay. And I explained, what had happened, and everyone was just so happy and smiley. And it started a conversation about how people aren't aware of how, serious it is, and people have too many stereotypes and misconceptions about it, and the fact that a group like Young Farmers are supporting it is just phenomenal, to be quite honest with you. I came to know about Beat about 6 years ago when I first became ill. I didn't know what the hell to do. I didn't know what to think. I was scared. I was petrified, actually, because I could see no end to it. I could just see myself, sort of digging my own grave, essentially, wanting to help myself but not knowing where to start. And a friend showed me the website, and it's so good because there's so many things on it, like recovery stories, so it gives you hope knowing that other people have got better and have left their eating disorder behind them. Carers stories, for friends and family members that have had to look after somebody with the illness. That's been really informative, and it gives me a perspective as well. I'm learning about how it is for other people. Just because I've got the illness doesn't mean to say that I know about how everyone else is feeling. I can imagine, obviously. I've seen reactions, and I know how my mum feels and Woody feels and stuff. But, to hear an actual carer story it's an eye-opener. But it has support groups and online chats. And the online chats are actually with people that work for Beat, obviously, but they've had eating disorders themselves. So you can talk to somebody that totally understands 100% where you're coming from. You don't feel stupid with what you're saying because they've been through it themselves. So from a support point of view, their work is really focused in the community and helping people, because there isn't like a Manolan's hospice that Beat run. It's about helping people out in the community that have an eating disorder but don't know what to do, how to get help, what to think, and it is so important. I've been pulling a couple of facts and figures off the website, and just to put it into perspective of how much the charity needs the money, anorexia has the highest mortality rate of any psychiatric disorder, over schizophrenia, over depression, and when you look at it like that, it's like, wow, and it just goes to show that this is such a serious illness. If you let it run its course, it will kill you. And I'm not mincing my words, and I'm not being over dramatic either. It will do that. And 20% of anorexia patients will die prematurely as well. Don't think about that too much, obviously, but some other facts, like 46% of anorexics do recover, but 20% are left chronically ill. 45% of bulimia patients recover, 27% improve considerably, but 23% are left chronically ill. It's about nipping it in the bud as quick as you can, basically. The older you get, the longer you leave it, the more it's going to become a chronic illness, essentially. So this is why I see this as my kind of almost last chance, because if this happens again, I think I'll automatically have to go into the chronic category, because once you've tried once and twice and it's not worked 3 times, really. So this is why this is where my focus is, basically, to be honest with you. So yeah, and also the money that gets raised for Beat goes to funding support groups. So if you imagine somebody is out somewhere in the UK with an eating disorder, they haven't told anyone, they haven't spoken to anyone, they're isolated because they don't want to socialise, they can't socialise, fear of going out, fear of food. They have nobody to turn to. The only thing they have is a website like this where they can actually talk to somebody online, or a support group where they're talking to people in the same situation and they don't feel so alone, because I know it can be a very isolating illness and you do feel at times like you're the only person going through it, even though rationally you're not, but that's what it makes you feel like. So knowing that these support groups are being funded by Beat is so important. And it gives psychological help for those unable to access inpatient treatment. I mean, the waiting lists to get in places like this are long enough. I was lucky, I only had to wait a month, but I know that 6 years ago I had a waiting list of about 4 or 5 months. I didn't have the time to wait. I really didn't. I needed to crack on and start getting better with or without inpatient help. It was obviously lucky that at the time I had my partner at the time did help me through that, and so I've been lucky, to be honest. But they're doing a lot of scientific research into new treatment for adults specifically, so that's really interesting. But their mission as a charity is to change the way that people think about eating disorders, which is what I'm trying to do with my videos, educating sufferers and those around them that need help to understand it, challenging the stereotypes, obviously another big motivation for me, and campaign for better services and treatment, because they have to continue. If they don't, then a lot of people, I'll just turn that back on, then a lot of people are going to suffer when they don't need to, and they can get help. So I'm chuffed to bits, I really am, and I think I go on behalf of everybody here to say a massive thank you to all the young farmers and on behalf of everyone in the country with an eating disorder, because it means a great deal, because the charity doesn't get enough credit, because people don't realise how serious it is, and I'm glad that it's finally being recognised, basically. So yeah, so that's the message for tonight. Thank you. Bake Off tonight, looking forward to it, and I think that's probably about it today. Tomorrow I'm going to talk a bit about, if I have time, because I know I've got a couple of visitors tomorrow, hopefully talk about like the media and how that has a really devastating effect on all of us as a population, not just people with eating disorders. They are more obviously prone to, they're kind of, what's the word, more vulnerable to it, I guess. But you see what I'm trying to say, basically. So I'll have a think about that and see how I can do that. But I will say good night for now. And once again, thank you so much. Bye, everybody.